it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a quick unboxing. I got a couple of orchids from Michael McCarthy and he sent me some goodies here, so I'm going to unbox it with you guys. I haven't had any new orchids in a long time, so these are new additions to my collection, one of which is a Richard Mueller hybrid, which I really love those. So thank you, Michael. And then he threw something else in here for me, so you guys are going to see what it is, and we'll pot them up together as well. So let's get this box open. All right, we've got it opened up. And what do we have in here? Let's see. Let me take it all out. Let me take everything out and I will come back. Everything was packaged really well, so we're gonna get this opened up. We'll start with this one. I haven't done an unboxing with you guys in a while. I don't buy orchids like that anymore. So anytime I get something, I try to get rid of something. So I sent Michael I sent him a hybrid. I'll put it down for you guys. Ooh, looks good. This is a BLC Richard Mueller, which I love. Cross with Richard Mueller exotic orchids crossed with the Cattleya Dowiana exotic orchids. A good looking plant here. I know I just finished blooming for him. I love Richard Mueller hybrids, so thank you so much, Michael. We're going to take that out shortly. And I know he told me that it was stuck to other orchids, so he must have had it next to some other pots and the roots grew into something else. So thank you for freeing that up for me, Michael. And then he sent me something else, so let's see what it is. Let me put this tag back in. Let's see. Let's see, what did I get? I'm excited. It looks big. Yeah, this is definitely a bigger one. Let's see. Oh yeah. A bigger Cattleya. Ooh. Very nice. I think he told me this was a Cattleya Dowiana. Let me see. Yep. Very nice. Cattleya Dowiana. Cross with sibling. So, ooh, he said it hasn't bloomed for him yet. So maybe I'll have better luck. So thank you so much, Michael. This looks really good. So I might get these potted up straight away and then just add them right to my collection. So I'm going to put these into clay pots. The Dowiana on the right is going to go in a 5-inch clay pot, and then the Richard Mueller is going to go in this beautiful clay pot that I got at my local plant swap. I grow a lot of the orchids in my clay pots. I put them together next to each other so that I could water them more often because they do tend to dry faster because clay is very wicking. But what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to go very heavy-handed on the moss, and I'm going to do a mix of moss and bark. But because they dry so fast, because they're so wicking, that's why I'm going to go even heavier on the moss. That's something that I've learned in my environment. If you have an environment with that's very humid, then you probably don't need to do that. But here it's humid in the summer, but things dry out really fast in clay for me. And the winter's very, very dry, so that's why I want to go a little heavier on the moss. But we're going to get these unpotted and into their new pots. Okay, let's get this out of the pot. This looks good. This is coming from Florida. Looks like it was grown in bark. Let's see. Nice roots. This is a really nice plant. This bark looks good too. I think I'm going to wet this real quick. Maybe get it out. Let's see. Let's see if it comes out of the pot okay. Yeah, it's coming out just fine. This should be okay. This is not like my Leca repots. Yeah, this is fine. I'm going to moisten the roots up though so that they are a little bit more pliable when I get them out of the pot. This definitely needs a drink of water. It's been in the mail. Today's Friday. You guys are going to see this video tomorrow, Saturday. So this has been in the post since Tuesday. So it's a thirsty plant now. It was in transit, so we're going to give it some good water. This is going to be easy though. Yeah, this is such a treat because it's not like my Leca repots where it's like stuck everywhere, you know? So this is fine. This looks great. Nice root system. I think I'm going to just keep all those roots there. And then I'm just going to throw it into its new pot. So some of them are stuck to the roots and that's okay. So I'll just leave them. I'm going to wet this right now. All right. We gave it a little drink. I'm going to get rid of some of the roots that are dead in the back, like this one. Anything that's very hollow. Otherwise, this one looks like it has a nice root system. Let's see. I'm not going to take off too much. Just a little bit. Let's see. Nah, we're just gonna leave. I feel like maybe just a lot of these are alive, so I'm just gonna leave them. I'm gonna throw them in its new pot. So I have some moss and bark next to me. I'm gonna fill the bottom up with some moss. I just soaked it for a little bit. We're gonna put this at the bottom, and then we're gonna take a little bark, smaller grade bark than what it came in. So when you're in a very humid environment, you want larger grade bark. In this case, I have some medium to small grade bark, just because it holds more moisture. And then we're gonna put this root ball in here. And then maybe I might have to like take out a little bit of that moss. Yeah, take a little bit of that out. A lot of it is still in the bottom to position this very well. Yeah, this should be enough. Then we're gonna put it in. I'm going to put mostly moss in here because of my environment and because it's in a clay pot. I normally don't, I do use moss with my Cattleyas, but I'm experimenting with more moss for those in clay pots because they dry fast, like I said. Otherwise, if it were in a plastic pot, I would use less moss. I'm going to go in around it with more moss. And I'm glad we left those roots there because they also help to anchor the plant. We have a little eye here that might shoot a new growth, which is fantastic. This plant looks so good. I'm going to put a little bit more moss in there, kind of help it stay up as well. I kind of want to anchor it so it's at the edge of the pot because the new growths are going to come from this other direction here. It looks like it has a very tight growth habit as well. Now we're going to mix in some more bark. Get it in there. This pot isn't super big. It's 5 inches. I like the style of this pot. I find it nice. I need to find more of them. I think I got it at like a Home Depot in Connecticut or something. I don't really see these kinds of pots here in New York that much. I mean, we don't really have that much variety. So I have to order a lot online or get in a car, hop into a garden center in a suburb. That's the only place I can really get a lot of my pretty pots, supplies, that sort of thing. All right, we're gonna get this around. Now I'm gonna put another layer of moss in here. So hold more moisture. This should be happy here, I think. And this should be able to hold well and last for a good bit. Yeah, it's holding up on its own. Don't need to hold it. When you have an orchid sometimes with, say you have to cut off the roots or something, you need to put a support stake in there usually. I don't think we're gonna need it for this one, so I'm gonna take this right out. And then what I'm gonna do, I mean, it could help, but we'll see. I'm gonna top this off with bark so we don't see the algae. And then this should last a bit. Should last a year, I hope. They should have gotten this more over to the left, but I think it's okay. More bark on top. We're gonna push it down. Yeah, I think the next growth will probably be that there. Nothing here. I don't see anything coming from this side. It's probably all gonna be on the other side. But I hope I did not make a mistake with this, but I wanna get this in a pot right away. And I like this pot. Hopefully we could keep it in here for a year. And this is done. Here is the Dowiana in its new setup. It's pretty big. Nice big Cattleya. Thank you, Michael. Okay, let's get to the Cattleya Dowiana. Cross with the Richard Mueller. I love these. Thank you, Michael. So he told me this one was very vigorous and he couldn't get the root ball loosened up. Oh, it has a nice new growth down here. Perfect. He couldn't get the root ball loosened up. That's something I'm very familiar with. I sent him a division and the root ball was insane. So let's see. Oh, he did. Yes, he did. He got a lot out. This moss looks good though. I kind of want to use it. This looks fresh, so I might just reuse that moss and throw it in the pot. I see now. So it has this little core in here. I might just leave that, to be honest, because it looks fine. It looks healthy. It's not bad. I'm going to save this moss and get it in there. No, this looks great. I see now. So it was outgrowing the pot. It came out. I see part of the pot down here. This is very vigorous. Because it's in bark, I think I'm just going to up pot around it and then just deal with those roots later. These are so vigorous though. They're insane. So let me soak this and then we'll come back and pot it up. So I might regret this because I know these are really vigorous, but let me see if it fits in this pot okay with the roots. And if not, maybe I'll get it in a bigger pot. Just because I know what beasts these can be. I was really hoping for using this for a very special orchid, and I love Richard Mueller hybrids, so I was going to save it for that, but I think we need to get a deeper pot, so I'll come back. Darn, so I was hoping for a clay pot, but I don't have one that'll fit those roots. This is a 6-inch white pot. I will link this down below if you want to check it out, but I started buying these white pots just because I was using these transparent pots and they would keep getting algae. They're cheaper. This wasn't too much money. I got a set of 10 and they come with saucers. So they have drainage holes on the bottom. So I'm going to use this. Now the pot may seem big for this plant, but trust me, with these hybrids, the root systems are so big that we're just going to have to go with it. I have a Cattleya triumphans crossed with a Richard Mueller hybrid, and that one I had to put in a 7-inch pot and it wasn't even that big, but the root system was insane. So we're going to put some moss in the bottom. And this time we're going to use less moss because it's in a plastic pot. We're going to use less because it's in a plastic pot. But we started with a layer of bark. We're going to throw the roots in here just like this. And we're going to go around. Now the important part for me that I need to do is I need to put this growth and position it so that the oldest growths are on one side and the new growths can grow on the other side. I might have to get more bark for this. We'll see. I might run out. I didn't bring enough because I was thinking I was going to use predominantly moss on it, but we'll still go around with it and get this filled up. And then we're going to get a little more. I got this bark from Fred Clark over at Sunset Valley Orchids. It's good quality. I've been going through a lot of it as I've been getting through my repots. But I'll admit I've been a little lazy with my repotting. I did a lot of repotting last year, and this year I just, not that I don't want to be bothered, it's just so much work and I've been so busy. Okay, so we're going to keep going. I might have just enough. And then as you can see the old growths are on the side and then the new growth is going to come here. So then hopefully it'll continue to grow from this side. May should have growth here or there on that side, but mostly it should grow from this side. Let me get a little bit more bark. All right, I got a little more bark. We're going to surround it. So I'd say that this is probably, I don't know, 80% bark, 20% moss. And we are all done. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to clean the pot so it doesn't look so dirty from the bark, but this is all set. So I'm gonna water it and we're all done. So these are all set. They're ready to go and they're ready to be introduced to the collection. The pot on the right, I used predominantly more moss because it was in a clay pot, and then the one on the left, we went with a 6-inch plastic pot. It was a bigger pot for the orchid, but it has a very extensive root system. I think these are going to be good to go for a while. Maybe that one will get a year and hopefully 2 years on that one. But Michael, thank you so much. I love these. I really love my Richard Mueller hybrids, and I look forward to growing the Cattleya Dowiana. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, everyone.